Hey, and welcome to today's conversation. I'm your host, Deidre Sirianni. And if you are watching the video of this right now, you can tell I just got back from the gym, most likely. And you know what? I've just been feeling into this energy. I just got back from a killer workout where honestly, I've been getting off track. I've been not working out the way that I wanted to. And I haven't been feeling great about my body. So I was like, I need a solution to this. So I decided to start working out with a 16-pound vest so that I can accelerate my results and get back on track. So, this conversation today, my friends, is being birthed because I was feeling the fire and I was like, I want to dive into this conversation around getting back on track with whatever is going on for you. Okay. This can be in your life, this any area of your life. It could be your business, it could be your relationships, it could be your health, it could be money, it could be whatever is going on for you where you're not feeling like lit the fuck up about. This conversation's for you. Okay. I'm going to honestly say, the last year, I gained about 15 pounds. And if you were to look at me, you'd be like, you look fit. What are you talking about? You look great. That's what a lot of people are saying to me. Oh, Dee, like you look great. But for me, I know on a deep level, no, this is not my ideal body weight. I'm not feeling super great about my body and my confidence. And I'm not loving the way my clothes are fitting. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm getting my ass to the gym and I'm doing the 16-pound weighted vest and I'm making some other life changes so that I can feel the way that I want to feel. Me sharing the 15-pound weight gain is a bit vulnerable for me because I've always been super fit. I used to own a yoga company for 8 years. I've always been super, super fit. And although maybe from the eyes, I look fit. 15 pounds for someone my height is quite a bit of weight to gain within a year. And so there's probably a factor of a lot of different things, a lot of life changes, and me just not having as much walking time as I did in Vancouver when I lived in Vancouver. Now I live somewhere else and I'm not walking everywhere. So there's a lot of different factors that are there. But I just got tired of not feeling the way that I wanted to feel. And I got into this space, and maybe this is relevant for you. We're actually going to break all of this down, but I wanted to start with a story. I got into this space of like, oh, I guess it's my hormones. I'm 36 years old. Like, I've always had like a fast metabolism. I've always been super fit. Maybe it's an age thing. I started telling myself this excuse. Maybe it's an age thing. Maybe I'm just not feeling great in my body because I'm 36 now. Maybe it's all downhill from here. And this is where I started to lie to myself. And I think a lot of us are lying to ourselves all of the freaking time, telling ourselves bullshit excuses why we're not getting the results in an area of our life. Maybe that's our relationships. Maybe that's with our physical health. Maybe that's with our mental health. Maybe that's with your business. It doesn't really matter, but I really just want to come at this super straight and head on because I got into a space of telling myself, oh, I'm just a little bit bloated. Oh, you know what? It's just, I'm 36 years old. Oh, you know what? The gym I go to now isn't as intense as the gym that I used to go to back home, back where I used to live in Vancouver. I was making all these excuses and I wasn't taking accountability for creating the life that I truly wanted to create. And I started to feel a little bit insecure about how I look. Okay. So I started being like, oh, like I don't look that great. I started to compare myself to other people. And I've never had body image issues, but I started to just not feel confident. And when I get real with myself, that is not how I want to feel. That is not who I want to be. So what am I going to do? I can either accept that I've gained 15 pounds, right? And just be like, this is just the way it is. I'm 36 years old. It's probably something hormonal or some other bullshit excuse like most of the world does, like most people do, right? Or I can take radical accountability and start doing things differently to get back on track. So I was in kind of accepting it, kind of pushing it down for a few months. Like, it's probably just stress. It's just probably a little bit of bloating. It's probably just my age. And then I was like, fuck this. This isn't me. This doesn't feel good. I want to feel good in my body. I want to feel confident in my body. and I want to fit into the clothes that I normally fit into, and I want to feel good, right? So I had to get radically honest with myself. And so I talk about this a lot in my book, Turn Your Light On. Maybe you have a copy of it, maybe you don't. But the foundation of turning your light on, which is essentially waking up to who you are and who you're meant to be, is getting radically honest with yourself, like looking in the mirror and being honest. So when I got honest, I was like, you know what? I am making excuses for not feeling the way that I want to feel. And this new normal fucking sucks. I'm sorry for all the swearing today, but I'm just really passionate about this today. I'm feeling really fired up. And getting radically honest, I was like, I need to do something different. So, this is a conversation to light a fire under your ass, kind of similar to last week's conversation around starting again, getting on track. Stop telling yourself lies that you have to settle. Stop telling yourself lies that, oh, this is just the way things are right now. I started to do that with my health, and I was like, you know what? I don't like the way I look. Like, I'm not liking the way I look right now. And some of you might be like, oh, that's so superficial. That's not spiritual of her. But you know what? It really is actually. Because if I don't like the way that I look, because when I'm healthier and happier, I mean, healthier and I weigh less, I'm healthier and I'm happier, then it's actually not spiritual for me not to actually get back on track. So in the spiritual community, in a lot of spiritual spaces, people are like, oh, accept yourself, accept. It's not spiritual to be superficial in any way. We live in a physical world, and I know that if I do certain things, I feel better and I'm happier, I'm healthier, I'm more confident. I contribute bigger in the world with my work, with my gifts. I'm more of a joy to be around. So, yeah, of course, the physical matters. And I think that there's a huge bypass in the spiritual space that the physical doesn't matter, because it does. When I am fitter, I am healthier, I am happier, I feel more complete, I have more joy, I do better work, I'm more outgoing, I'm all of the things. So I had to catch myself on that and get honest. So now I quit coffee, quit having coffee in the morning. That was a big thing because it stresses out my adrenals. I talked more about the specific things I did in last week's episode. So if you want to get the more like the nitty gritty of what I've been doing with my health, you can do that. But I started to shift some things, and I started to ask myself, if I want to get back on track in the next 30 days, what do I need to do? And so I started drinking ginger and lemon shots in the morning. I stopped having coffee in the morning, and I'm doing this weighted vest thing. And I'm really going to start looking at my diet and making sure I'm having the right nutrients and protein so that I can get this excess weight off, and I'll probably get my hormones checked because that's important. So this episode is not about weight. That's not what this conversation's about. This is a story of what I am currently looking at in my life, and I'm like, holy shit, I want to change this because it's not affecting me in a great way. And I'm tired of kind of slightly lying to myself that, oh, I'm great, I'm fine, I'm just 36. Bullshit. Okay. So this is my invitation for you. Where are you telling yourself, oh, I'm fine, this is just the way things are? Maybe it's extra weight for you. Maybe it's a relationship dynamic that needs to change. Maybe it's your business. You've fallen off track and things feel freaking hard right now. And you're like, oh, it's the economy. It's da 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 da. You know, okay, a lot of external factors can affect you. This is life. This is the world that we live in. This is the human experience. But what you do with it is really what matters. What you do with what's happening within your life and internally is really what matters. So I got off the bandwagon a little bit with my health. There are some things where I wasn't as disciplined as I could have been, and I started making excuses around it. And now I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. I am no longer going to accept being heavier than I need to be because of my age. And that's what a lot of women do. And you know what? It's actually relevant. It is, because there are hormonal things that happen when you do hit a certain age. Those are all accurate external factors. But I am not going to let external factors shape my reality. And I'm not going to be 40, 45, 50 and not feeling great in my body and confident as ever. So I'm getting this on track. All right. So that was like, I'm coming on strong today. I feel like this is the conversation I needed to have with myself a couple of weeks ago. And it might be the conversation that you need to hear right now. Where are you opting out of your dreams? Where are you not showing up because of external factors? Because that person hurt your feelings, because you got a bad review, because you had a troll on the internet, because you had a bad client, because something happened in your relationship that threw you off, or you know what? It was summer. What are you needing a little kick in the ass to get back on track? Okay. What do you need to get back on track? Where is the area that you've fallen off and you're looking at it and you're like, you know what? I'm telling myself I'm okay with this, but I'm actually not. What are you tolerating in your life right now that actually you don't want to tolerate anymore? That is going to give you the insight of where you need to get honest with yourself, where you need to have courage to really sit with it, and where you need to take radical action. Radical action to create the transformation that you want and be the person that you want to be. Because for me, not feeling confident in my clothing is not something that I want. That doesn't feel good. It's just like this thing where it's like, oh, like I can wear these outfits and not those outfits. Like I don't want limitations with what I feel I can wear and what I feel I can't wear. That to me feels like a little bit of a prison or, oh, my cat's tail is he's walking around. He wants to be a part of the conversation. If you're watching the video right now, so where are you, accepting less than what it is that you truly want, and where can you opt back into what you want? So what you can do right now is you can take a moment and do just kind of a life assessment. Where am I not feeling excited and on purpose and lit up? For me, my physicality, my body was totally one of them. I'm like, I'm not feeling great when I look in the mirror. I'm not feeling great getting dressed up. I'm just not really feeling super good about this. And I'm tired of telling myself I'm comfortable with it when I'm not. Okay. So that's number one, honesty, courage to sit with it and be like, okay, something needs to change. And this is also where, the honesty and the courage part is really about taking accountability. It's so easy to point the finger at your relationship. It's so easy to point the finger at the economy. It's so easy to point the finger at external things in your life. And that's going to keep you small. That's going to keep you stuck. That's going to keep you living a mediocre life that doesn't feel good. Um, but leaders and people who have the life that they want, they take radical accountability. Okay, so this is what's going on. What can I change? What can I do to get back into the driver's seat of my life? What can you do to get back into the driver's seat of your life? And so for me, it's some things with the gym, some nutrition stuff, probably some hormonal stuff. I'm committed to getting back to where I used to be because that is what makes me feel good. And it's not necessarily a weight, it's about feeling a certain way and being confident. And so for you, where is that area where you have had excuses? You're like, oh, this is just the way things are. It's just the way things are because you haven't pivoted, because you haven't got accountable, because maybe you've been pointing the finger or just coasting. And now this energy of September and moving forward is about lighting a fire and making shit happen. Because I heard this really great quote the other day and it really landed for me in a few different ways. And the quote is, if you are not actively creating the life of your dreams, you are not consciously creating the life that you truly want, you are going to live your biggest nightmare. You're going to live your nightmares. Okay. And so you know, um, for me, I know that I don't want to feel low energy, feel, uncomfortable in clothing, not confident. That is so not how I want to live, right? And so if I am not consciously creating the life that I want to live, I am going to live a life that is less than what I can truly have and what I feel worthy of having and what I deserve, right? And so for me, I'm like, I got to take radical accountability and make some big changes. And that's what I'm doing. So, and some people might be like, oh my gosh, like, maybe it's not weight for you. It could be your business. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all of these pieces today. But for me, that's what it is. And it's like, if I am not consciously creating the life that I truly want, the life that I desire, my dream life, I will by default create a living nightmare. Me not being confident, me not putting myself out there, me not being the best version of myself. That is a freaking nightmare to me. My biggest fear is not living my potential and playing small. And I actually help people step into their full potential, step into the spotlight, all of those things. You know that. But if I don't feel great in my body, I'm not going to be as external. I'm going to hold myself back. All of these things are connected always, right? So, if you are not consciously creating the life that you want, if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know what your dream life is, you're going to end up on default mode and you're going to create a life that doesn't feel good. And I'm not opting in for that. And I hope that you're not opting in for that either, because you can have anything that you want in this life. You just have to choose it. Stop pointing the finger, get accountable, gear up, and opt into the life that you want and find the right people to support you, the right mentor, the right community, the right whatever that is. And that is how you are going to end up where you want to be. So for me, it's the health thing. I've always been a health freak most of my life. I love health and wellness, but something, went off track this year. And I'm like, I need to get back on track because this is not the best version of me. And if it's not the best version of me, it's not good enough. And if you are not living the best version of you, that is not good enough. That is not good enough. That is going to limit the type of life that you can live. It's going to limit the amount of joy you can have, the amount of abundance, the relationships, the quality of relationships. Everything stems from whether or not you are playing full out and going all in on what it is that you are called to do. So maybe it's a relationship. Maybe there's a relationship dynamic that's not working for you. Where can you get honest with yourself? Take accountability, what needs to change, and then take massive inspired action. Maybe that's counseling. Maybe that's having the challenging conversation. Maybe that's showing up differently on your end to transform the relationship. Or maybe it's like walking away. What is that thing that you might need to do in a relationship or multiple relationships in your life? Look at the areas that are dragging you down that don't feel good and start cleaning them up, my friend, because the thing is, if you're not creating the life that you want, you are going to create your worst nightmare. It's just true. And most people in the world are settling because they don't believe they can have what they want. And it's easy to do that. The consciousness of the world, most people are settling. Most people are eating McDonald's. Most people are not aware of their weight and don't care. Most people are doing exactly what their parents have done, which is okay, but maybe it's not okay for you. Maybe you want more. Maybe you have a business that's doing good enough, but you on a deeper level want to be on stages, want to be on podcasts, want to be on platforms. You want to grow. You know you're here to change the world. And there's a part of you that's like, it's time to play a bigger game, but you're like, oh, I'm playing in the shadows. I'm not playing full on. Oh, this is good enough. I should be grateful. I should be happy, but I want more. I'm not actually that happy. I've had those moments many times in my life before I got a divorce. I guess that was like 8 years ago now, 7, 8 years ago when I got a divorce. I was back and forth in that relationship for like 3 years. And then I finally had the courage to get honest with myself to leave. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that weight that I was carrying for so long of being in a relationship that was totally out of alignment freed me in so many ways. And I remember in that relationship, in my past business, when I was a yoga teacher and I had a yoga company, I just felt like I was not living the life that I was meant to live. I felt like I was living someone else's life, and it was time for me to play a bigger game and go after my dreams, even though I didn't fully understand it. So what did I do? I got honest with myself. I had courage and I took big, bold moves. And I started my business, my coaching business, and it did well in the first year. I spoke on my first stage, even before I started my business. And it was from doing the hard things, but also getting radically honest with myself. So this is the question that I have for you today is, where do you need to start again? Where have you got off track? You can be gentle with yourself, but be honest with yourself. Where have you got off track? And how can you plug back in? How can you get back on track? How can you take accountability and stop pointing the finger externally and start showing up and making big, bold moves? And what is your dream life? What do you really, truly want? What is that thing that you really, truly want? And what is going to get you there? What is going to be the speedboat way to get you to your next destination? I would love to hear from you. And I am so excited that I am going to be offering a really powerful event. I'm going to be hosting an event, and all of the details are in the show notes. And I'm also going to be sharing more of this on social media. But I am going to be hosting an event all about playing a bigger game, going all in, and stepping into the spotlight. This essentially is turning your light on. So it's going to be an event online, so you can join. The details are below. And it's really about supporting you in getting out of the shadows and stepping into the spotlight and committing to the life that you were born to live. Because playing small isn't helping anyone. It's not helping you. It's not helping your friends. It's not helping your partner. It's not helping your family. It's not helping anyone. It's not helping humanity. When we play small, we opt out from the joy that we're here to live. When we play small, we tell the universe we don't really want what we want. We tell God, we tell everyone energetically that we don't really want what we're here for. And that is bullshit. And I'm not opting in for it. And I want to call you to play a bigger game with me in my upcoming event, online event. All the details are below. And join me for this event where we're going to get radically honest. We're going to have courage and we're going to talk about stepping out of the shadows and stepping into the spotlight so that you can live the life that you are here to live and you can make the change that you are here to make. Your health, your purpose, your relationships, all of those are connected. We're going to be talking about all of that at this event, and I hope to see you there. All right, so I have finalized the details for the last part of this podcast because I want you to be at this event. So here are the details out loud. This event is happening Thursday, September 25th. So that's Thursday, September 25th. I'm going to be hosting this event. It's going to be a day long, probably about 3-4 hours. Final details will be in the show notes below, as when this episode goes live, all of that is going to be curated and outlined for you. But it's going to start at 10 a.m. Pacific on Thursday, the 25th, and it's going to go into the afternoon. And this event really is to support you in getting out of the old identity or the space that you're in, and maybe a space of hiding, playing small, not fully stepping into the spotlight, and then also how to get out of your own way, visualize that future self, that future identity, so that you can collapse time lines and really quantum leap into this new reality that you want to create, which is your dream life. So we're going to be doing a lot of hands-on work inside of this event. I recommend blocking it off on your calendar, clicking the link below, and registering now for Thursday, September 25th, where we're going to be supporting you in showing up and creating the life that you truly want, turning your light on and stepping into the spotlight. So click the link below, and I can't wait to see you on September 25th. And make sure to invite all of your friends who are maybe feeling the same way as you're feeling to support them in their up leveling. Big love. Mwah.